Back now with a climate challenge. On Maui, the struggle to rebuild is underway after that deadly wildfire disaster. But now many are wondering if they should. Here's Steve Patterson.
Instead of cookouts and conversations, the sounds of Lahaina today. Hazmat crews plucking up propane tanks and paint cans. Painful pieces of past lives for families who called Lahaina home.
You know, our whole way of life is just gone. That was it.
Pamela Reeder, her husband Keenan, and their two girls lost their home of 13 years. She'd like to rebuild in the community she loves, but restarting seems so far away, and so much here, including the air itself, has changed.
When we moved into Lahaina, we didn't even have air conditioning. And then all of a sudden, it's noticeably hotter. Fire was never any part of what we thought about here, and now it's definitely something.
Pamela's fears are grounded in science. Researchers say the Hawaiian Islands have been consumed by a 20-year drought.
How many of these weather stations are there in the state?
About 40 of them up right now.
Hydrologist Chris Schuler says dry grasses spike fire risk.
These grasses respond really fast when it rains, so if we have a wet winter, they'll grow up, and if we have a dry summer, then they'll die and turn into a really large fuel load.
Here on what's considered the wet part of Maui, the lush greenery, the massive waterfalls, fueled in part because of up to 300 inches of rainfall that this part of the island sees every year. But here on the dry side, dramatically different, with some areas getting as little as 11 inches of rain.
That trend is expected to increase. Climate research from the University of Hawaii shows the wettest areas seeing as much as 75 inches of additional rain by the end of this century, as the dry areas get even drier, with more places expecting rainfall levels equal to Arizona's deserts.
We're looking at a year of really dry conditions.
Across the island, community discussions are already swirling over the best way to rebuild.
We need to move forward in building back in those ways that keep our lands healthy and that keep our communities safe without relying on volunteerism and tiny nonprofits to try to retrofit poorly designed communities that were built too fast.
With the promise of a worsening climate and an ever-present fire threat, Pamela says that won't be simple.
I wish none of us went through this, but everyone needs to figure out what can we do so this never happens again? Because not just fire, but other parts of climate change is happening to us here.
A dream to build back Lahaina strong for the future. Steve Patterson, NBC News, Maui.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.